Well, it's delightful dimensional time, yes. Brand new cutting die from in the delightful dimensional realm. And Debbie has some wonderful things to share with you, and you are going to drop dead for the last one. It is gorgeous. Okay, so it is Bloom and Grow is the collection. You can see it right there. And let me just show you. Now, this has been done on our basic crosshatch. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So, won't you please come play with us? Well, the Delightful Dimensional was based on using the basic crosshatch, which Debbie did on that very first card. And these are the dies. We call them seasonal dies, so they're really going to reflect what's going on in the season. And you can see Bloom and Grow is just perfect for now. There are 14 dies in here, so you can see the flowers, and there's butterflies, the Bloom and Grow text, as well as this spray of leaves and some individual leaves too. Now, when she did this, she did use the basic crosshatch. So let me show you what that does. So here we go. There are 4 pieces, and they slot together, meaning that there are cuts in the dies and that they simply slip together. So we have the back piece, which is the arch. And then we have 2 other pieces that are, one is taller than the other, and they're going to slip into these pieces that are going to hold it standing up. So just like that. That's all you have to do. Really works well. And then we have the Bloom and Grow dies. And as I said, let's get in close because I just like you to see. And I love it when the flowers have the layers, as you can see, multiple layers inside, but they're in coordinating colors. It just adds such a richness. And what she has used on the center are the gold jewel dazzles, those 540 little dots of gold in this case. And she did, the butterfly is right there, so very beautiful. Now she elected to use the papers that are called mystical florals. So here's what that looks like. And the 12 by 12 is what she used. And I'll show you why, because she used this piece for her backing. So we have these large cutouts that just work perfectly inside that arch, as you can see. And isn't that gorgeous? It just works so well with the colors. Well, of course it does, because they're designed to match. Now, for the flowers and the leaves, she went with the coordinating Mystical Florals cardstock. You can see multiple of the purples, as well as the greens that are going to work for the leaves and stems. And that's the end result. And you see the back of it too. So this is where you can write your message. Boy, I think that gold or silver pen would work really nicely, you know, the ones that we carry. And the Bloom and Grow is just beautiful in that whited area. Okay, well that's our first one, and that's the one that's on the package. In fact, let me just show you. So there it is. And she also did, while I'm here, as is her custom, on the flowers, so we're getting close again. Can you see how they're a bit darker on the edges? Well, and the leaves too? Well, that's because she has used the ink pads with either a finger dauber or a blending brush. And she used violet on the outside edges of the purples. And she used khaki on the greens, 2 of our favorite colors, and just tipped them, even though she used different shades of the solid cardstock, so that just really, really nice. Okay, so that's our first creation, but we have more. Now, I'm going to scoot this over. Oh, by the way, let me just tell you this. These will fit into our 10 envelopes. So you are never without a way to convey your greeting, okay? Okay, here's our next one. A very different look, but still she used the basic crosshatch. Isn't this cute? Bloom and Grow. Isn't that just lovely? Bright colors. Now this time she used different colors on the centers of her flowers, and so that's another look. But she did the same thing in that for her background. Let me show you. In this case, she used the Flower Queen, and let me show you what that looks like on the front. Okay, the Flower Queen and the 12 by 12, because for her, for this area, she again used the big cutouts, and you can see that one. And that just worked beautifully. And she also used the Bloom and Grow flowers around that, as you can see. And this time she elected to do a flower to hold the and. None of the jewel dazzles, but you see the grow is actually growing off of that back stand right there. Okay, then for the bottom of this, she used these papers. Okay, so you can see that flowers down there, which is just a really nice support to what's going on in the rest of the card. Okay, and of course, if you have the flower garden patterned, you have the flower garden solid, so that all of those colors are going to coordinate beautifully. And in this, I thought this was fun. This just has a very light blue flower. Well, she put one of the Bloom and Grow flowers right on top of it. So she did keep everything else just very nicely. Okay, so that is our second. Again, she highlighted with the inks. This time she used Vintage Rose and Orchid, and plus some of the khaki, of course. So that was used on this card. And again, oh, on the back, let me show you this. So this is one of the cutouts, and this happens to be the back of that sheet, and more of the flowers just going kind of in a crescent around it. Very lovely. And that's where you would write your message too. Okay, so here is our second one. I'm going to flatten that out, get ready to show you our next. And this is using a different die that is called a flower part card. Now, I do have to tell you, we don't have a ton of these, so if this is of interest, you might want to grab it. Okay, and here's what it does. So you can see that there are 3 pieces, and in this case, you have the flower pot, but look what happens. You can pull this up, and you have inside. So you brighten every day, and it is just filled with flowers as that slips in and out. More of the dazzles, this time in pink. But let me show you the papers that she used. She used X-ray flowers, and to do her pot, she used this sheet. So it's very textured. And also, let me just show you on the cutting die. You see this decorative edge on the pot? Well, you actually turn it over and you can back it with something, and that's what she's done here. I'm glad you got in close to that. So you can see that that cutout piece is just really pretty, and back it with a solid. And again, she has done these with a similar tone for the inside pieces. So you can mix them if you want, or you can match them just like this. And I think having that, so you are the best, and as I said, you brighten every day. Then on the back, let's get this little puppy tucked in, you can write your message. So that's how that is going to work. So this is the slider, and this is the flower pot, and then this is the lip to it, the edge to it. So really nice. And of course, to go with the X-ray flowers patterned, we also have the X-ray solid, and you can see the colors. Just a really kind of a mid-tone and pastel, just beautifully mixed together. Okay, fun. This is a good thing to know because, you know, we love flowers and we have a lot. Okay, are you ready? Because this is, as I said, drop dead gorgeous. And here we go. Look at that. This is another take on Bloom and Grow, which I think is wonderful. And wow. Okay, so what she has used, is she's done a wonderful job. She has used, this is rose platinum, and so this is the rose colored. And then she used silver, And you can see the silver, and she used gold. It's right there. And and there's the rose. So, and I really love showing this to you because it really highlights what we have done with the dies, is that we have done what we call thin cuts. And what they do, let's see, let me show you. I think you can see it easily with both of these, that it cuts into the paper. And instead of being an emboss or a deboss, which would have to be a thicker, wider piece, it doesn't look as delicate or as feminine. And it does here. And it does here, even in the metallics. So it gives you much more dimension and a little more realism too. So even in the butterfly, and you can see the metal butterfly. So all of that, boy, they really reflect the light beautifully, don't they? Just gorgeous. And again, now in this case, she has mixed her metals, which I think is a great look. And no inking this time. Okay, let me show you what she used on her card. This is a 6.5 by 5-inch card. And she used Steampunk for Everyone. This is the 6 by 6. And very fun. So the paper is this, and you can see that she put it, but she first covered her whole card with the gold. So I'm not sure if you can see that in the reflection, but it is gold. So she covered it first, and then she put this piece. Now, of course, it's not going to cover the entire card because it's 6 by 6, but then she added a border, and that border comes from the one of the strips in the Steampunk. Okay, and here we also have this piece that she matted on the gold and foam taped. This is out of the die cuts. So Steampunk for Everyone, a note just for you is what it says, and that has been attached flat to the card. These have all been foam taped and layered, as you can see. I think you'd want to use extra sticky tape to attach those. Then on the inside, same paper, as you can see, but this time she took this one, turned it horizontally, matted it on the gold, and this is another of the solids, more of the papers, and then this is this border, as you can see, with just a strip of the gold on the top of it, more of the flowers. Let's see, we want to make them so you can see them. There you go. And the Bloom and Grow is right there in a framed section. So just stunning, just stunning. I love it when she does that. So anyway, you can see that even though we show it here with our basic crosshatch, we'll get in closer so you can see them. There's just so much you can do with them, and that's what's really fun. I predict that this is going to be a year-round favorite, especially with all those beautiful flowers and nicely shaped. This large one is 1 3/4 inches wide. This piece is 3 1/4 inches long, so you can cut it if you want it. You can layer it to have more. You even have your butterfly. So lots are going on. So I think this is going to be a perennial favorite. So that's fun. We do have a money saver. It's these two plus the gold metallic paper. And we also have a subscription. Yes, I thought you might want to know about this. This is also on the right side of the screen. Every month we come out with a new delightful dimensional. That means that there's a brand new seasonal die. If you would like the subscription, the very first month we will send you also the basic crosshatch in addition to the seasonal die, and that will come to you. It comes to you before the webisode, and because there is a project here and a project here, right there, you have ideas to get going, and that's always nice. And you will get a 10% off with the subscription, so that's nice. And you'll get a free goodie each month. This month you will get 1 sheet of that gold metallic paper to get you started. Okay, so that's what we have in our subscription. We would love to have you with us. And like I said, you'll get 12 for the year. Well, I guess you'll get 13 because you'll also get the basic crosshatch, but that's just with the very first order. Okay, so that's what we have. The Delightful Dimensionals, I think the most expensive they get are $15.99, kind of $12.99 to $15.99. So that's the range that they're in. Watch as I say that something's going to get higher, but that's what it is right now. And it's just great to have those, have a seasonal application for things, so that's fun. Okay, so that's on the right-hand side of the screen, so everything is set for you. Debbie has listed the materials that she's used, and I've shown them to you also, so you can pick and choose what you like. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we would love it if you would like us there, but please head on over to paperwishes.com, especially because that is the only place on this planet that you can buy these. That's right, they're only from us. So that's going to be fun for you too, and fun for us. I do want to thank Debbie for just doing, as always, a wonderful job and for giving us many options, because even though these aren't very expensive, I still want to have lots of ways I can use them, and she certainly furnishes me with that. And it's fun to see another cutting die too, don't you think? Okay, well, thank you so much, but most of all, thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. And Lene will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.